This show, this show is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's fire. I don't know what else to say, how else to describe it. The show is phenomenal. It's fire, top tier. It's peak. Whatever you want to say that it's elite.
Woke up this morning, feeling that shine. Whole team got the glow, You can see it in the stride. Got me feeling brand new, feeling brand new. Got me feeling brand new, feeling brand new. Yeah.
What up, YouTube? It's your boy JusRzd. Welcome to another episode of Raised Reviews. Today, you already know what time it is. It's Sunday, so we're reviewing Solo Leveling, Season 2, Episode 8. And this show, this show is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's fire. I don't know what else to say, how else to describe it. The show is phenomenal. It's fire, top tier. It's peak. Whatever you want to say that it's elite. That's what this show is. That's what this story is. Super dope. Every time, I think it kind of reminds me of One Punch Man. Every time we see this brother flex his ability, flex his power, struggle a little bit, it's just like, oh man, how you gonna get out of this one? Or can he even struggle because he's been flying through enemies the entire season? It's just like, I don't know. I don't know. Then they hit us with this particular episode and it's just like, oh, why? And it's funny because it was two different plot points being driven in this entire episode. We have, of course, Sun Jin-woo picking up where the last episode left off. We have Sun Jin-woo confronting those demon knight raiders that that were attacking his different squadrons. And of course, he made quick work of the first three. Got to the fourth one. Fourth one was super scared. Ended up begging for their life. And Sun Jin-woo was just like, I'll spare you. And it turns out the person takes off their helmet. It's actually a young resident of the demon realm, like a young woman resident of the demon realm. I believe her name is Elvis. I think that was her name. But anyway, she begging for her life, pleading for her life. Sun Jin-woo is able to get some information out of her. He finds out that her family is actually in charge of hiding the permit for him to get to the next level, which is why he wasn't able, the next level of the tower, which is why he wasn't able to find it. We also see that she offered the information that she does know where all the other permits for the levels above them are. So she's valuable in that way. And then he proceeds to ask her more information, just kind of about what they were doing before they got caught up in the whole situation where the mystical beasts pretty much invaded Earth with the gates and all that stuff. And she started to reveal some of their backstory. They were chilling in the demon realm and they were getting ready for war. And he was like, getting ready for war? War with who? And she proceeds to try to explain someone that could pretty much bring an end to the demon realm and this great cataclysm and this great catastrophe of a person that they were getting ready to to go to war with. And before she could get too far into her explanation, she pretty much, like some override in her programming or in her brain, just kind of shut her down and she passes out. She's like, yeah, it even said before she passed out, like your limit of the limit of information is exceeded, so pretty much no more talking for you. So she ends up passing out, and Sun Jin-woo ends up taking her with him. They end up going back to her people's crib. Her pops off top recognizes that Sun Jin-woo has an army with him in his shadows. He was like, who did you bring into my house? You can't see that whole army of shadows that he has with him? And Sun Jin-woo was like, dang, I can't believe he actually noticed that. Most of the mythical creatures don't. And so he's just like, all right, I see what I'm dealing with here. And they end up giving him, of course, the permit to go to the next level. He's like, also, I'm gonna need to borrow her for a little bit. And he's like, the dad gets a little Like, hold on, what you mean you gotta borrow my daughter? And he was like, oh, no, not like that. She said she knows where all the other permits are, so I need to borrow her so I can continue to climb the floors. But I'll protect her. I'll make sure she gets back to you safe. And he was just like, all right. Just kind of let him go. So they climb the rings. They go through the floors of the tower so he can get the ingredients that he needs, of course, to get the elixir of life that can cure his mother. And so they end up making it to the top. And while they're doing that, the Hunters Association is having a meeting to decide and figure out how they're going to address the fact that the flying ants from the island that they were so desperately worried about, that they've already done 3 raids on. They saw that it hit the ant landed on the nearby island and pretty much wreaked havoc on that island, and they ended up losing almost like maybe 8 to 10 hunters that went out there to pretty much subdue the ant. Some E rank hunters, some D rank hunters, some C, B, and it took an A rank hunter to finally land a critical blow and destroy the ant. So they're like, dang, the ant's on an A rank level. And they was just like trying to figure out all the information that they could based on that expedition. And they were pretty much with the ant actually hitting an island that's close to the island that it came from. They know it's only a matter of time before they're able to make it to the mainland. And because of that, they're like, yo, we got to do something about this. How about we go grab some hunters from Japan, do like a joint task force, and anybody else that wants to come along in the neighboring countries, send your best hunters. We're going to come together. We're going to do another raid on this island. This will be the 4th official raid on this island. And we're going to go and destroy all these ants before they can destroy us. And so it was interesting to see that whole discourse and everything. They had a meeting with Japan's top guild. First of all, Japan's top guild has 11 S-rank hunters. 11 S-rank hunters. That is crazy. And they're only the 2nd biggest guild in Asia. So if you're the scale of these national hunter guilds and associations, well, not national, but the international scale of these hunter guilds, it's mind-blowing when you think about it. Like 11 S-rank hunters. And so they meet with the head of the guild, and he was like, I'm gonna go on that expedition as well, and we're gonna take 10 of our 11 S-rank hunters over there. We're gonna provide a distraction for y'all because we know that the ants pretty much are attracted to people with the highest magical power. So we're gonna provide a distraction so your team and your S-rankers, which of course are gonna include the Hunters Guild, the White Tiger Guild, and probably some more heads from different guilds as well. It's going to include the Korean Strike Team is going to include them, and they're going to take out the Queen and make sure that these ants are defeated once and for all. And once they take out the Queen, of course, they figure the life expectancy of the ants are going to pretty much dwindle down. Within like a year, they should be all extinct. And so that's the plan they pretty much come forth with and agree with. And they were giving out detailed information about the ants, how they move, the formation, the different information they picked up from the different raids that they've done. Like it was dope to just see they was really prepared for this. They were really, really prepared for this. So I thought that was dope. I thought it was dope to see them really go at it and go in on it. Back to Sun Jin-woo and his traveling companion. They finally make it to the top floor after defeating all the other floors and getting the permits for all the other floors. They finally make it to the top floor, and they are greeted by no one because nobody's on that floor until the demon Monarch shows up. And boy, does he show up. He shows up riding on a wyvern, or a wyvern, however you say that. I thought it was a dragon, but then he called it a wyvern, the W-Y-V-E-R-N. Wyvern, wyvern, I don't know. But anyway, he shows up on the back of that and just comes in with almost the same amount of aura as Sun Jin Woo be showing up with. And even Sun Jin Woo made a comment. He was like, bro, this dude's aura is strong. And you can see Elris even feeling the effects of his bloodlust. It was causing her not to be able to move. And she was just kind of stuck in place. And that was kind of funny. And then he proceeds to start his attack. He summons all of these monsters to pretty much attack Sun Jin Woo and Elris while they stand in the middle. They're like surrounded by all these. It looked like shadow gates that he opened up to allow all these monsters to come through and attack Sun Jin Woo. Elris screams. Sun Jin Woo's like, chill, I got it. Pulls out his whole army. His army starts fighting his army. Then the Demon Monarch does this attack where he shoots a beam. I don't know if it was a lightning or light into the cloud. I think it was lightning into the cloud. And it clears like a section of the clouds and then shoots that same lightning down and pretty much destroys a lot of members of Sun Jin Woo's army in the area of effect. And Sun Jin Woo was like, yo, I can't, my mana's gonna be depleted if I don't do something quick, so I gotta go attack this dude. And I always think it's so dope that Sun Jin Woo not only has an army of shadows, but the brother can fight. The brother also has hands. So I think that's super dope. So he goes in on the Demon Monarch. They are going blow for blow, trading blows. They're fighting in the air. He notices that it's a problem. He tries to sneak him with a stealth attack. The Demon Monarch catches him, finds him, blocks the attack. And Sun Jin Woo's kind of startled a little bit because he's like, oh snap, I didn't know he could see me. He can see through my stuff. And he's trying to figure it out. And he's just like, all right, here's my chance. So he takes Tank and he takes Igris, who's been leveling up through all the floors that they've been completing. They've been leveling up. So now Igris is more of an S rank and Tank is more of an A rank level. So now he's taking them with him. He calls out to he actually calls out to Tusk and Igris, not Tank and Igris, but he calls out to Tusk and Igris. Tusk uses this magical his magical attack to pretty much block a homing attack from the Demon Monarch, and he blocks the homing attack. And well, no, he did call Tank and Igris. Tank kind of got defeated very quickly, and Igris' attack got blocked. So then he uses Tusk and Igris later on because the Demon Monarch shoots a homing attack at him in order to avoid it, because he was trying to outrun it, but it was gaining on him. He has Tusk pretty much counter with a magical attack to pretty much counter that homing attack. He counters it, and in the midst of him countering it, Igris slices the head off of his dragon, or off of the wyvern, however you say it. And so now the Demon Monarch is grounded. So now him and Sun Jin Woo can run the fade, and they start throwing crazy hands. They start going crazy, and then to the point where the Demon Monarch had a sword. And then I believe Esil got knocked away. He pulls out two smaller blades, and so now he has two dual blades, just like Sun Jin Woo has two dual blades. And they start going ham. They start attacking each other, going crazy. And we see Sun Jin Woo use his shadows to kind of, what he thinks he's gonna be able to do is subdue the Demon Monarch. That don't work. He kind of breaks free from that, pulls out his two swords, his two little smaller swords, and then him and Sun Jin Woo start going back and forth again. And we see the Demon Monarch low-key got Sun Jin Woo on his heels. Low-key, he got him on his heels to the point where he's almost getting hit. He didn't get hit, but he almost got taken out a few times. And even says to himself, like, yo, if I'm not careful, he's gonna take me out. And so he ends up almost getting sliced by the Demon Monarch, but he catches his arms, and he's just like, yo, buddy is strong, I'm not gonna be able to hold this for long. But he was just like, I have to stop him. If I don't, I'm gonna die, pretty much. And Elris ends up throwing her sword at the Demon Monarch, catching his attention, distracting him for a quick second. And he was just like, yo, now's my chance. Switches all of his attribute points to strength, rips the Demon Monarch's arms off, and then Jason uppercuts that man head right off his shoulder. And I'm saying Jason, Friday the 13th Jason, when he was boxing with the boxer dude, and then he punched his head off on the roof. Yeah, it was kind of sad. All the brother had to do was just one more punch and push, and Jason would have fell off the building. But he ran out of stamina, and Jason punched his head off. Shout out to Friday the 13th. But he ends up punching the Demon Monarch's head off and end up collecting his soul, as well as collecting the things that he needed by clearing the entire 100 floors. So now he has all the ingredients he needs to make the potion to heal his mother. And he knows nothing at this particular point about the expedition that's about to transpire, that more than likely, because he's an S rank, he's the newest S rank in Korea, more than likely he's going to be a part of this expedition. And man, that fight was amazing. They were throwing the greatest of hands in that fight. Like, that joint was crazy. That joint was crazy. 10 out of 10 for an episode. 10 out of 10. I don't know what else to say. I don't even got nothing to critique on it. It was just fire. It was just fire. Like, it was cinema. It was amazing. This story is phenomenal. I don't know what else to say. Solo leveling is becoming the level at this point. Like, solo leveling, Kaiju number 8, Jujutsu Kaisen, they are all top tier at this point. Like, the storytelling, the fighting, the way they can grab you and lock you in as an audience member and as a fan and as a viewer of this content, it's phenomenal. Like, if there was a new big three, to me personally, in my opinion, it would have to go to Solo Leveling, JJK, and freaking Kaiju number 8. It would have to be those three right now. Right now. We're talking about anything under 3 seasons worth of content. It would have to be those three for me personally. If we talking a big three, like a new big three, it would have to be them three. Because the way their stories are developing and the way they're able to grab your heartstrings and keep you locked in through the action, through the story, through all of that, like, whew. I ain't know Sun Jin Woo was gonna make it out. I ain't gonna hold you. And yeah, I was getting nervous. I'm like, fam, wait a minute, what's finna happen? How you gonna get out of this? he ended up solving it. First of all, the thought process to switch all your attributes to strength, all your attribute points to strength, so you could pretty much defeat this man out of pure raw strength, ripped his arms off and punched his head off his body. That was crazy. And then to just, yeah. So I'm excited to see where the rest of the season's finna go. What's gonna transpire. It did say he acquired his soul. So I'm interested if him acquiring the Demon Monarch soul, has he made the Demon Monarch a shadow? Or will he make the Demon Monarch a shadow? I'm interested to see the answer to that. Because I already know once he gets to Jeju Island, I kind of know who he's going to face and what's going to transpire by the end of that. So, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with the Demon Monarch too. But let me know in the comments below if you've kept up with Solo Leveling. Have you seen the new episode? Let me know in the comments below what your favorite part of the new episode or your favorite part of the story has been. And don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so that way you can be notified anytime we drop a new video on the channel, which is every day. So stay tapped in, stay tuned in, stay locked in, and never forget, it's free soul to the soul free. Let's get it.